Having trouble with your garage door? Problem solved. Call Direct Service Overhead Garage Door Company. We're your go-to team for garage door repair, new garage doors, openers, and more. We offer same-day service. We're always ready when you need us. Best of all, you can book your appointment online or talk to a live operator 24/7. No machines, no waiting. So whether it's a broken spring or a brand new garage door, trust the local experts at Direct Service Garage Doors. Call us today or visit directserviceoverhead.com.
What's going on, Let's Talk with Ty viewers? I'm that game wore me the hell out. Oh my god, crazy drama. Maybe some I don't know. Man, Tim, help me out. What did we just watch?
Man, we just watched the National Player of the Year put a team on his shoulders. And we watched the refs pile on.
Yeah.
That's what we watched.
That was first off, it is a heartbreaker game. I agree. Watermaker 67. By the way, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company, same day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than the best. 1,000+ reviews on Google. They're there in Central Arkansas, 501-244-3667. Again, that's Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company. Shout out to Travis Ford and the boys. We might even open up the phone lines. I mean, that was absolutely wild. And you felt like for a minute there in that second overtime, like Arkansas might have a chance, but you knew bodies were going to start to drop for Arkansas because of the amount of fouls or the amount of foul trouble that they were in. It changed the way Arkansas played in the second half. The tacky fouls, the tacky contact fouls in the second half. Listen, we can call it what it is. And I don't want to sit here and say I don't want to blame this on officiating at all, but it certainly had an impact with the way Arkansas could play defense, meaning they couldn't play defense. They couldn't be more aggressive. And it got really easy for Alabama, especially in the paint, to just do whatever they wanted. However, Alabama, got to give a ton of credit. I mean, these are two of the top offenses in college basketball, not just in the SEC, but in college basketball. These are two of the top offenses. I'm going to say this with every fabric of my being: neutral floor, a different damn officiating crew, neutral floor, Arkansas healthy, they win this damn game. I think they were the better team.
I don't think we had to have anybody else to win this game if it was called evenly. I mean, you don't have to blame the officials. We had some poor shot selection. We did some things wrong. But if this game was even called evenly, we win by 10 points.
Well, the Arkansas was, according to ESPN, 16 of 19. Alabama was 27 of 34. Now,
that's nearly double.
13 of, or they were 10 of 29 outside. Arkansas was 13 of 26. Both teams around the same amount of outside shots. So before any Alabama fan or Kentucky fan, because we know how they love to float around Arkansas losses on these post-game live shows, get a life, you loser. You don't have anything better to do. Go watch your own damn team lose to Georgia. Anyways, both teams took about the same amount of shots outside. It would be different if this was the other way around, right? But that's not what happened here. Both teams took a shit ton of shots outside. Well, I say shit ton. For Arkansas, 26 is a lot. 26 is a lot for Arkansas. That's not their average. That's well above their average. You actually held Alabama below their average because it was just easy inside. Again, you got to tip your cap. Alabama is a fantastic offensive team. Neither one of these teams know how to play defense. And you know, Arkansas has been, I think the execution's been better. And then you go on the road and you play a team like this and they show you, you know what, well, we could flip you inside out too. We could score in the paint, even though we're mostly an outside threat team. I don't know. I don't want to go down that route of saying you lost because of officiating. I think you're right. The shot selection, especially by DJ Wagner, I don't know. 90% of his shots, I don't know what the hell he was doing. And it was just bizarre. And when he came in the second half, at one point, or maybe it was the second. I don't know. Now that we had a double overtime, I feel like I'm getting them all mixed up. But he comes in the game. It flowed in a negative direction for Arkansas on offense. Defense wasn't terrible, but his offense was, again, shot selection. Acuff was passing the ball more in the second half, passing up some shots. I think he was worn out, but my God, what more do you want out of Acuff? This man scored 49 points. Yeah, he took a lot of shots. That's what shooters do. He's 16 and 27 for 49 points. Round of applause. Hey, everybody, give these guys an applause, man. Arkansas fought their asses off. Cal coached a hell of a game. It took foul troubles, double OTs, and some bullshit officiating for Alabama to win this thing in double OT. There, I said it. I spoke my piece. I was hoping Arkansas would find a way to win it. Unfortunately, too much to overcome in double overtime.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you're playing Karuletwa and Zafi, Arkansas's in trouble. 4 guys foul out. Meanwhile, not one person approach fouling out for Alabama. This is where I want to say, yes, you can't blame the officiating because there are things we could have done better. So if the officiating was the same and we executed better, we still win. But at the same time, nobody approached fouling out for Alabama. Not one person. So, I mean, at that point, you have to really look at this and say, double the amount of free throws. You fouled out 4 significant players. Malik Thomas was going off tonight, gets into foul trouble.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it's just so frustrating to watch things like this happen.
I think it's also frustrating. Like I said, Arkansas just wasn't allowed to really play their defense in the second half. And you just said it. When you've got someone, when Leak is in foul trouble, you're in for a rough night. That from an officiating standpoint. And listen, Arkansas absolutely got some crazy calls, like that overturn of the of the goaltend, and Arkansas. I mean, that took someone from outside the arena to correct the challenge or the officials looking at it again. That was crazy. You and I were sitting here talking about, like, they're not going to give Arkansas this, and they didn't. And then they get a phone call. The boss called and was like, hold on, we looked at this and we think that should be that's overturned and it shouldn't be 110 straight up. It ought to be 108, right. 110 with Alabama trailing by 2. That had an impact the way Arkansas, just again, the officiating and the lack of personnel available. And so Alabama does something. I don't know if they've scored 58 points in the paint this year at home or on the road in SEC play. 58 points. They were able to flip Arkansas inside out. Again, it had a lot to do with the lack of personnel that were available for Arkansas. And yes, the way Arkansas just wasn't allowed to play defense in the second half. Again, Alabama also got some, or Arkansas got the benefit of the doubt on some calls too. I'm not going to sit here and deny that, but it was pretty absurd, some of the stuff. Very tacky. Eventually, Acuff starts driving the lane, and all of a sudden now Acuff's getting some opportunities at the line. And by then he's exhausted. He missed, I think, what did he end up missing? 1 or 2 at the line tonight? Yeah. I mean, he's 11 of 12. 11 of 12. So it was that one shot that he missed off his last free throw attempt, his last trip to the free throw line where he shot 50%. But again, you can't speak highly enough of Acuff. It's just always the Acuff show on the post games. It always is. In these post game lives, it's always the Acuff show. 60% outside. Again, we already talked about his 49 points. How about 5 assists, 5 boards, just 1 turnover? And this is the craziest thing to think about too. You did get out rebounded as expected by Alabama, 42-36. 15 assists to just 7 turnovers with double overtime play. 15 assists and just 7 turnovers. Meanwhile, Alabama had 16 and 12. They had 12 turnovers on their home floor. So again, the efficiency thing is just going to keep Arkansas in all these games. Very impressed with that, and very impressed with him and Leak. between the two of them. Just 2 turnovers. I mean, just insane, Tim. Crazy. And these two are freshmen on the road doing this. I don't know that we're going to see this again.
Ever. I mean, I look forward to Jordan Smith Jr.
Yes.
But in
and
the meantime,
Andrews.
Enjoy the A-Cup show while you got it, because this is special. This is really special.
The official decided the game. Great game, though. I would take a loss like this anytime. If you had Knox and Sealy, it's a W any game.
Yeah.
I think so, too. I think you're right. I think had they had Knox and Sealy. Listen, you could talk about how inefficient Knox has been on offense this year. That's fine. That's fine. But what you're missing is that's another body. That's another guy that's going to help absorb minutes. And that's also that's another guy that can also play some defense when he really gets into it. When he gets into it, the guy can play some outstanding defense. Oh, we got a number of super chats here. Look.
And then Sealy also. Sealy's defense.
Oh, man.
Has been surprisingly good. So, I mean, that could have gone so far for us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Great game. Just think we should have shot the 3, because why would you want to go, or why you want to go to a third overtime, let A-Cup take the 3? You and I were talking about that. Like, why not just take the 3 there? Not even mad. Listen, you can't be mad. This is a great take. $2 super chat from Sean Sanders. This is a great take. You can't be mad. This is I mean, I know we don't like moral victories at Arkansas. I get that. But again, you have to consider all the circumstances in this game and what it took for Alabama to sneak out of their own shitty-ass, tiny, little, insignificant arena to win against Arkansas. Look at everything Arkansas had to overcome, and they took this thing into double overtime. Imagine if you didn't have, I don't know, half your guys in that kind of foul trouble going into that second overtime. Had Richmond not fouled out, had Wagner, even Wagner. I mean, Alabama needed all the help they could get to take this thing into double OT and win. And that's just, I don't know, man. I really think matchups matter, but the NCAA tournament, I think Arkansas ends up going further than Alabama in the tournament. That's my take.
Yeah. I think one important thing that we talked about while we were watching this, you can't criticize really A-Cuff's performance at all, but a 7-minute, 15-second stretch of not taking a single shot. He didn't draw any fouls because he didn't take any shots. I think that hurt a little bit too, because if he's driving, if he's taking shots, he might be getting fouls. Cheryl ended up with 4 by the end of the second overtime. It's possible we could have gotten somebody in foul trouble, but 7:15 is a long time for Acuff. Not to criticize this game at all. I mean, I can't. 49 points, but I think maybe that was a long stretch for him to go without taking a shot.
It's crazy too, because he took 27.
I know.
I mean, that's
what more
insane.
Do I want, right? What more do I want?
No, I mean, you're right. I mean, someone like that, you don't expect to have that kind of drought without at least taking a shot there. Again, no big with in the double category and rebounds. Arkansas did have 15 offensive boards. They actually won that battle. They had 15 offensive rebounds to Alabama's 12. I thought they did a very good job on those on the offensive rebounding side of things. I thought they were aggressive. I was hoping they could win. I felt like had they won the rebound battle, they probably win this ball game. You can't give, and even though it's just 12, you can't let Alabama hit 12 offensive boards. Now, if we go into the strict numbers here, Alabama with those second chance points, they had 12 off 12, so they averaged a point off every single offensive rebound. Now they only had 10 fast break points. Alabama likes up tempo. A little surprised they didn't have more there. They were 16 of 22 on layups. They were 7 of 8 on dunks. This game was tied 9 different times. It was just, again, absolutely absurd. I mean, both teams, I sit here and say Arkansas is going to go further in the tournament. Now, I'm starting to lean towards Arkansas being a legit Elite 8 Final Four team, and maybe Alabama can go that far. We know their offense is capable. Their defense is really, really, really bad. And it was just, and some of it too was just Arkansas were knocking down shots. I mean, it was crazy, contested or uncontested. I think they were, 8 of their first 11 shots or something. I mean, On the road, that doesn't happen very often for Arkansas. What do they normally do at home or even on the road, or the other way around? Yeah, they slow start at home or on the road or even at home. That's what I was trying to say. They slow starts. Yeah, they just couldn't miss. And it and then their defense wasn't there. But again, Alabama also very efficient. I think Arkansas is more efficient, and I think that's probably going to be what helps lift them, advance into the tournament because of, again, that assist to turnover ratio is insane for Arkansas. And again, you look at this kind of game. I know it wasn't a Saturday night tip-off at 6:30 down in Tuscaloosa, but I mean, my God, that place can get loud. Those fans are down on top of you, and Arkansas overcame every bit of it. It's just very impressive. So if we flip over to Arkansas side, 46 points in the paint. They had, again, 19. Now, I think this is the highest on the road. I could be wrong. They had of all their offensive rebounds, they had 19 second chance points. 19. So what did we say they had offensive rebounds? 15? Yeah, yep. 15. So both sites are showing that. ESPN and Stat Broadcast are both showing that. So off those 15 offensive boards, they were +4 in point totals. Off the offensive rebounds. 11 fast break points. Again, a little surprising with these two teams. Figured this number would be in the high 20s for both of them. Arkansas 14 and 25 on layups, 2 of 4 on dunks, and they had 86 possessions and 1.3 points scored per possession for the Razorbacks. So we could talk about some of the stuff that they just absolutely, that play there at the end. I think it was towards the end of the first overtime, where you had the alley-oop. You were talking about it. Ewing was right there, and Brazil was in between them, and it looked like Ewing had an opportunity there for the layup, for the feed, for the alley-oop, and it wasn't there, or it was there, but they didn't. That's not the route they took. There were certainly some decisions tonight, whether it's Ewing, whether it was DJ Wagner, that did cost them some very big possessions. Mm-hmm. And it threw them in this like kind of panic mode. And now they're having to get back, and Alabama, they can do whatever. They can come out and play half court offense, find a way to feed, move the ball around, and then eventually score. But they score quick. I was really surprised they had a shot clock violation.
Yeah, there
was one shot clock violation tonight, and it happened in overtime. So. All right, let's read it. I haven't even read these comments. I'm sorry. Ewan missed some key putbacks. Had a sequence where we could have gone up by 2 possessions. Yeah, and he threw the ball right back to the Bama player. He did. Our big stink, says Christopher Cox. I really thought the second half was going to be better for Ewan, and it wasn't. Rebounded well, 6 boards, but offensive wise, Ewan was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, they all kind of struggled. Brazil was pretty cold tonight. Ewan was not good tonight. Pringle was not great, but also foul trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bigs struggled. They struggled worse than normal. I agree to a degree our Bigs are bad, just bad. But tonight I think they struggled worse than normal.
This is a game where they should have, it felt like going into that second half, and I said this in a Discord live. I did a halftime show in Discord. It felt like the second half, Ewan and Pringle might actually get some opportunities because of how hot Arkansas was outside, and you knew Nate Oates was going to try and flip Arkansas, where now they're having to feed inside, chase the guards out off the perimeter. And an opportunity for some one-on-one matchups inside around the post for Ewan and Pringle. Not that I'm expecting Pringle to go off on offense, but we've seen what Ewan can do. And he was nowhere to be found. He was 0 for 4, I think it was tonight.
I see 0 for 3.
Is it 0 for 3? It might be.
Pringle 1 for 3. Brazil 5 for 13. Brazil finishes the game with this massive dunk over Cheryl. You heard me say it as soon as he did. I'm like, where was that all game long?
Yeah,
it just wasn't there. It wasn't there.
Brazil was also cold outside. He was 0 for 4. That's also unlike him. Even on the road, this guy could knock down a couple, and he was 0 for 4. He's also just 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Man, I so badly as that second overtime was kind of going through and then, guys started dropping like flies because of the foul trouble. I still thought there was a chance there. They were keeping it close with Alabama. Final possession. Is this going to be that game, that upset that Arkansas gets on the road? How does this make you feel? In chat, you can also respond to this. Does this make you feel better about going into Gainesville and going into Columbia, Missouri, and winning those? I mean, obviously, I think they should split those. Does that make you feel a little bit better? Or Alabama and Florida are two different teams. Florida is it's vastly different, very hostile territory down in the swamp. How does it make you feel with these last two road games, Tim?
It doesn't really change anything for me from a Florida standpoint. I told you the last time I was live with you that I thought we would lose Alabama and lose Florida. And I hoped all the way through this game that we would win this game, but I didn't call it. I mean, I said we would lose, not because I think Arkansas is bad, but because that's the way the SEC works. You don't win a lot of road games. The refs don't let you win. I mean, we get the same benefit at Bud Walton Arena. We don't lose a lot of home games. And so I called it to go the way that it went. Obviously, I didn't see double overtime. I think the same thing for Florida. The league just doesn't let you go in and take out the number one team in the league. It's not going to happen. We're going to see bad calls in Florida. We may not even match up well with Florida. It might be an absolute blowout. Not because I think we can't hang with them on a neutral floor, but going into Gainesville, I just think the league protects home teams and they protect their top teams even more so than just home teams. It doesn't change anything from a Florida perspective, but that's the last game I think we lose. Like, if you want the truth, I think we win out minus Florida.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were about to pull that around.
What'd you think I was going to say?
Well, I thought after saying that the SEC wouldn't let Florida lose at home, and then you were going to turn around and say, but I don't think they, like you're about to give me an ultimate WWF finisher there. Like, well, actually, even though I said all that, I think we still win out, baby.
No, we win out except Florida. That I do think. I think the league protects Florida no matter what.
I just listen. You and I are going to differ on that. I don't believe in the tinfoil hat theory that the SEC. You got to think about the amount of people that are in on that. And I get it. Cheating does happen. It happens in the NBA. It happens in the NBA. You've had officials talk about their gambling on the games or whatever over the years. I don't know. I think I know that's. Listen, Florida's just good. Florida is just a damn good basketball team. That's a hard game, whether or not you think it's fixed or whatever. Florida's good, man, and they're good at home. They've had some head scratching moments this year, no doubt about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They've had some head scratching games. It looked like they were really falling on their face. I think it was the first few games in the SEC. They didn't look very good, but they've turned it around. They've gotten healthy and they're playing better ball. They do look like right now a deep run tournament team. But having saying all that, you're not wrong that the home team is always going to get home cooking. Now, Arkansas fans will tell you doesn't look that way when it's in Bud Walton. And I would also agree with that. There have been games where I'm just scratching my head. What the hell are the opponents, getting the benefit of the doubt when Acuff can't buy a foul? Billy Richmond under the rim, getting all kinds of contact, nothing. And then on the other end of the floor, it's not that way. But I do think naturally teams, the fans, the crowd, officials eventually just, they give in and they start calling bullshit,
So you're agreeing with me. You just don't want to say I agree with you. Because what I said was they protect top teams and they protect home teams. And so when you have to choose, the home team may not get the call against the top team. And I'm only saying that, like, Florida, I think could be a tough matchup for us anyway. I'm just also saying, even if it came down to just like tonight with Alabama, we're going to see poor officiating that benefits Florida.
What I'm saying is
run us out of the gym because they are a tough matchup and they are a good team. I'm not saying that we should go in and beat them, but the officials will cost the game. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm saying I don't think it's a group effort by the SEC front office to keep Arkansas from winning in Gainesville. That's what I'm saying. I think the officials in the arena give into the crowd. That's where we differ.
There are entire videos. I'm just saying there's entire videos. You can go out to YouTube and watch people go through the statistics of home games and of top teams. If a team looks like it's going to be a number 1 or number 2 seed, or especially in football, if it looks like they're going to get into the playoff, look at statistics and you'll see it. The league protects top teams.
That's some Alex Jones tinfoil hat stuff.
Maybe give me a tinfoil hat. Give me one. The statistics are there.
But again, I do think home cooking absolutely does exist. It exists across not just the SEC. I've watched the Big 12, and oh my God, some of it is just it's just wild. And sometimes in the Big 12, I remember thinking, I mean, as long as basketball's been around, right, for decades, home teams
don't want to be caught in the parking lot.
They really don't.
Home cooking.
Yeah, they really don't want to get caught in the parking lot. Let me read this super chat here. Stop passing the ball to Pringle in the post. God bless. Isn't that the right comment right here? His hands, let's see, his hands only work on lobs. If Ewan was in 2K, he would have a 54 standing. He's giving this man ratings on 2K. 54 standing dunk and no dunk package. I don't play NBA 2K. I haven't played NBA games since like NBA Jam in the 90s. I've just never been a big basketball guy on video games. Football, yes. Baseball, yes. Yeah. Start Dizvicic immediately.
Yeah.
Divizovic, the guy that played tonight, whose name I never even bothered. Didn't think you'd see the field at all or the floor at all this year. Didn't bother learning how to pronounce his last name correctly. But yeah. So and you had two of those guys play tonight. As a matter of fact, a couple of guys you don't expect to play, and because of the foul trouble and the fact that you had a couple of injuries, they did play.
They didn't do anything. What's great is they got in and they didn't do anything embarrassing.
Yeah,
they actually got in front of their guys. Played a decent defense. It's not great, but we don't play great defense anyway. They did a decent enough job for the time they were on the floor.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, not a lot of minutes, but it's good that they got that opportunity in a huge game or a huge moment there for them. Mm-hmm. Hey, for you guys coming in, make sure you like, share, hit the subscribe button if you're new here, hit the notification bell, and click all under the notification bell. That way you get a noti as soon as we go live. Did I read this one? Gunny says great game, but why was Pringle on the floor so much? Ewan didn't play until Pringle got fouled out. Don't understand.
What's ironic is it felt like Pringle was on the floor so much, but they were on the floor about the same, 23 and 20 minutes.
I was going to say it felt like it was about the same. It felt like it was pretty even as far as those two at the same time. Is that on Stat Broadcast or is that ESPN?
ESPN.
Okay.
I mean, it might be a little different on Stat Broadcast, but it was about the same.
Let's see. Yeah, Ewan 20. Yeah. So and Nick Pringle 23. Yeah, that's right. About the same. It's funny if you look at the Arkansas foul trouble list on Stat Broadcast, you don't ever see this thing filled up. Like you might see one. And I guess in a double overtime game, you do expect a couple. No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in foul trouble on that list. Again, that's not something you see ever. And Arkansas had 5 if you include Ewan, who had they include Ewan with the 3 fouls. Let's read some more comments here, try to get caught up. My goodness, you guys with the super chats tonight are crushing it, man. Okay. All right. This is interesting. Chat, weigh in. This is all on Coach Cal. He is the one who got the 2 of the worst big men. Says Philip Frame. Do you want to?
They have moments. They do have moments. Pringle has had moments. I've criticized them all season long, but he's had games where he's shown the reason that they went to get him. I can't explain why he's not panning out. Ewan the same. Ewan has moments where he scores double digits and you're like, that's why we got him. And
Ewan,
then he disappears for games.
You're talking about Ewan?
Yeah, Ewan and Pringle. Pringle's had a couple of games where you're like, okay, it's clicked. And then he disappears again. It's like, why?
Yeah.
You see it in flashes. And we definitely saw it in Pringle last year when we played against them. I think he went 18 and 11 or 18 and 13 against us, something like that.
Yeah, he had a big game.
He has the capability. He just isn't putting it together for us. I don't know.
Texan wants to weigh in on the foul trouble. Bama with 34 free throws. Yes, 34 in all caps. Hogs with 19. 34 is a bit. And again, this is not because Arkansas took they both took about the same amount of threes. I mean, listen, typically the team who takes a lot of threes isn't, their foul column is not going to fill up. because they're the thing to do to draw fouls is to drill. It's to drive. It's a dribble drive. And then hopefully you can pick up a foul. You pick up a contact foul. And hopefully you can get somebody in foul trouble on the other end. There was a certain player who now plays for Oklahoma State under Musselman who was damn good at that, drawing offensive fouls. But, some things have changed over the years. But, yeah, I don't disagree with what you're saying, Texan. I don't want to make this about they only won simply because of the fouls. But at the same time, it's really hard to overlook the way this game was called in the second half and the way it altered because Arkansas was shorthanded, the way it changed. It felt like all the momentum just left Arkansas. And it was a Nate Oates game plan. Make no mistake about it. And that's genius. That's what Eric Musselman used to do. Get them in foul trouble. And we're going to get the benefit of the doubt because we're at home. We're gonna draw some fouls, and that's what they did, and it worked. It was a good, and I know I can't stand Nate Oates. I cannot stand that win at all cost scumbag. I don't like him. Makes me hate Bama even more. We don't even have to talk about what he did to mess up several years ago with a certain player who should have been suspended at least for 2 or 3 games at the very least, because of his affiliation with something that happened involving a gun. And then now you had this bullshit with this, this former G League player and trying to sneak one past the SEC. And thank God they finally eventually said, no, bullshit, but I mean, they're not, I get it. They're not the only team to do that. Oates kills me. I cannot stand that guy. But you got to give him credit, man. He coached his ass off in the second half and got Arkansas in some big trouble. And it changed everything. It changed the momentum. It shifted in their favor. Arkansas had to defend differently, and he was right. And Nate Oates is saying the same thing you and I are saying, and a lot of the chat's saying. He knew they were gonna get some bullshit calls, and they did. And it affected everything. Again, Arkansas got some of those too, but that home cooking's for real. It's for real down in that part of the country. No doubt about it.
Well, and I still go back to 7.5 minutes basically that Acuff did not take a shot. We weren't getting calls anyway. I get it. So maybe it doesn't make a difference. And I'm not knocking his performance. It's an all-time performance. It's a Razorback all-time performance. But man. 7.5 minutes with your best player not taking a shot.
Yeah.
That's a way that you could get more free throws.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it would change the outcome of the game because maybe he's not getting the free throws at the end because he got them in the middle. I don't know, but 7.5 minutes is a long time.
I love that they're bringing up Doug Shows. Oh God, man. Don Daly and Chuck Jones and Doug Shows. You just know, and we said it in Discord. We said it earlier tonight. We're in for a show. It's going to be a bumpy ride because of who's officiating this game. You knew it.
Gunny's got a good point here in the super chat.
I'm scrolling way down. Someone messaged me and said I got called out, and I'm trying to look for it. I don't see it. I mean, there's so many comments. Hold on, scrolling. Well, anyways, let me just go to start comments. Here we go. Okay, Gunny says Malik has got to stay in front of his man. He is he's always 1 or 2 steps behind his man.
I'll say this about both freshmen, actually, Acuff and Malik. I was thinking this when I was watching it. They don't cut off dribble drive very well. They both kind of turn at the hips and let them by.
Yeah.
I know that keeps them out of foul trouble most of the time, but it also allows a lot of free looks at the rim. They're both guilty of that, not just Malik.
I thought League played decent defense tonight in regulation. I thought it was decent. I mean, we don't ever talk about his defensive play because that's not his identity. But I thought it was decent. Again, it wasn't great. Yeah, they get blown by. Acuff gets blown by. I mean, again, we can't sit here and pretend like, oh, he's locked up the top 5. Maybe not. And I know you and I talked about this, how the NBA doesn't really care much about defense, but that is a part of when you're diagnosing a player or when you're trying to figure, that's probably the wrong word. when you're scouting a player and evaluating talent, you are going to look at that defense, and it is suspect with Acuff. He gets beat off the dribble a lot. And tonight there's even a play where he just didn't even try. And I think that was mostly because of the fouls. And that's understandable. I don't know what this is supposed to say. Man, Ty don't know you. I don't know if he's responding to someone in chat there or what that is. Ty your daddy. Okay, they're going at each other. Okay. I swear I'm trying to get to y'all's comments. This is a really kind comment. Ty, your videos absolutely love my day. Love you, bro. I appreciate that, Drew. Thank you so much. I'm sorry it took me 8 minutes to get to your comment. I apologize. I'm trying to get through these. Ty, here it is. Maybe this is what they're talking about. Ty Ewan is trash. Face it.
He has moments. That's all I can say.
I'm not going to say he's trash, but God, he does, like you said earlier, he vanishes.
He vanishes.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Shock Eye 24 says I was around for the 94 national championship team. So was I. They'll never be a team. There'll never be a team like that at Arkansas ever again in basketball. Why did we win depth all the players off the bench with a played elsewhere? I think Shock Eye has been raiding the liquor cabinet tonight. I'm not sure. Ty,
I mean, he's not wrong though. You can name 9 players off that team that played. 9 or 10 players that played. You know, there was your quality depth matters. There was quality depth. There were bigs. There were effective bigs on that team.
Yeah. Rocky Roberts says, laugh out loud. Ty saying exactly what I told you all. Driving gets fouls, outside shooting doesn't. Yeah, I mean, that really is the recipe.
Yep.
I'm just curious. I mean, they're going back and forth about the fouling, I guess. Ty literally just shut down the other Hog fans crying about free throws. Laugh out loud. Thank you, Ty.
Man, you're so smart tonight, Ty.
I'm finally getting complimented in my chat. How about that? It's usually you or Travis.
Well, sometimes it's just let's pick on Ty night.
That's true. It is. Yeah.
Travis must not be on there to pick on you.
Hogwild 49er. Hogwild 49er says we ain't getting past the first round, period.
I disagree with that, but the current way that the seeding is set up, we won't get past the second round.
You don't think they get past the second round?
They said we would. I don't remember who we're up against in the first round, but it was one that I was like, yeah, we'll win that. But the second round, our run up would be Michigan State.
Isn't this you?
On us. Huh?
Is that your account?
Yeah, someone mentioned Corliss had.
Okay.
Corliss had Darnell Robinson, and I was like, Corliss had Darnell Robinson and Lee Wilson. He had the Twin Towers. Lee Wilson was huge, man.
No, I'm laughing at this comment.
Ty actually doesn't know. He thinks I'm a
Yeah, your name has Rocky in it. I'm sorry. I get triggered with it. Hey, everybody, make sure.
And you're orange.
Yeah, and your name is orange. Yeah, exactly. 2 for 2 or 0 for 2. I don't remember what your comment was. Oh, shit. Again, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all the wonderful fun stuff. Make sure you support local small independent channels, huh? We appreciate everyone. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been doing this a long time, technically 10 years, but I actually didn't start creating content for this channel until like 2000, like really get into the grind of it until about 2018. But technically this channel was started in 2010 under Pig Trail Network. But I'm going to say this, man, I've never seen anything like what we watched tonight in terms of the offensive efficiency. And then to lose is just like, knife in the heart, because they played so well on offense against maybe the best offense in college basketball. And they went toe to toe. And like I said earlier, it took everything for Alabama to win this game. And this is the kind of game where I'm almost speechless. Like I'm usually pretty good at trying to gather my thoughts, take notes as I'm watching the game. I couldn't take my eyes off the game. I didn't write any notes for this one. It's the first game all year. I didn't write a single note. No script out. Of course, I don't really script out post games anyways, but no bullet points, no nothing. I couldn't take my eyes off the game. It was so fun to watch. And in my time doing this, that was the funnest game. But then to lose it's like it takes all the words out of your mouth. Like, golly, it takes all the wind out of your lungs. Very impressed with Arkansas tonight, despite the loss. I know we don't like moral victories, as Brim brought up a second ago. I get it. But my God, man, I mean, Alabama in the second half was shooting something like 80%. They were unstoppable scoring-wise, and Arkansas still found a way to get this thing into overtime and then into double overtime. It was wonderful. And I think anybody else, again, or I should say anywhere else, Arkansas probably wins this game 8 times, 9 times out of 10. I think they're better than Alabama. And we'll see. Like you said, Florida, I think you could be right. This could be the Florida game could be, if they play at this level again. Now, you're not going to play another shit defense like this. I'll say that. But
no,
if you play like this, anywhere close to this in terms of the efficiency and the scoring and the drive and the will, and these guys just hustling and all the effort on the offensive end of the floor, if you play like this the rest of the year, hell, you might upset Florida. And I realize that's a completely different team, physical, great rebound, elite rebounding team. They present some huge issues for Arkansas. But they haven't really played a team like Arkansas. But unfortunately, you got to play it at their place. So that's kind of the kicker. And you're right, Florida could absolutely, they could run you off the damn floor. I mean, who knows? I look at Florida as a legit right now. I think they're likely an Elite 8 or Final 4 playing for it all caliber team. I don't know. So, and that's what you got to walk into. So. There's that. So I'm just going to pull up the SEC really quick. Where's my, here we go. I have no snare. There's no snare in my headphones. Okay. So right now, Florida, who is 20-6 overall, and they're 11-2 in conference play. Arkansas now, they're 9-4. They had an opportunity here to, now they're tied for second. It's a 3-way tie between you, Bama, and Tennessee. Vanderbilt's knocking on the door. A&M's still knocking on the door. Kentucky's knocking on the door. Texas is knocking on the door, which you got to play a couple of these teams that are left, right? No, actually, you got to play 3 of them if you include Texas, who's also 8-5. So you think you believe that's your stance? You think Arkansas outside of Florida, they went out?
They went out,
man.
Yep. I'm calling that. No. Nobody else can put up with the offensive onslaught that we had tonight. And we've only gotten better our offense has only gotten better over the last month.
It has. It really has.
I don't think anybody else can handle the offensive onslaught that we put up, except Florida. Florida will either come down to they're a little bit better than us and they get their home cooking calls, or they run us out of the gym.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be one of those two things.
I
think we beat everybody else.
They're riding a 6-game win streak. They got to play at Ole Miss on Saturday at 11 a.m. I mean, they're probably going to run Ole Miss out of the gym. You never know, though. Beard always has. He's similar to Cal in some ways, where he just has some bullshit game that he wins. Maybe they find a way, but obviously I would take Florida. But then they play Texas on the 25th. 3 days later, Tim, they play Arkansas at home, and then they finish out against Mississippi State and Kentucky in Rupp Arena. Kentucky hoping to get revenge. So again, the SEC, it's still really close. Florida with the 11-2 conference lead. Did we get another super chat? Yeah, Kyle. Hey, Kyle, how you doing, man? You didn't punch any holes in any walls, did you? Did you smash some monsters before you watch tonight's game? Why do we never get the right big men tie? Well, hold on. Last year they came around late. You had some more options compared to what you have this year. But I hear what you're saying. It doesn't feel like they have the right guys. It feels like that part that they just don't have the right guys. And it really is. It's unfortunate. Brian Barton says, appreciate you, Ty. Go Hogs, beat Mizzou. Hey, I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you.
I mean, that brings up a question, Ty. Do you feel like real bigs don't want to play for Cal because he's a guard-oriented
That's
coach?
true. I've heard that before. And Kentucky fans were telling me that when we hired him, like, good luck. You're never going to have the big men to go far. Yet he did pretty well until the 2020s. That's fair. I mean, you lost out on Ament, who went to Tennessee. If I remember right, they swung and missed on some bigs out of the portal. But it was pretty quick turnaround because then it's like they immediately went to it felt like pretty quick. They went to Pringle and Ewan. And we felt pretty good about these two. I mean, it's like you said earlier, like we felt pretty good about what these two could possibly bring to the table. I don't know why it's not working out. I don't understand it. I don't know. And that is the scary part. When someone says we're one and done and that's it, the first thing you want to look to, for me, in my mind, I'm going, okay, why would that be the case? It's the lack of play there from the bigs. It's just not there. Ty, okay, I'm getting challenged on my belief here. Ty, if driving equals fouls, Acuff would have shot 25 free throws. We weren't getting the calls.
We said as much.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get the call, especially on the road. You're not going to get the benefit of the doubt probably 6 times out of 10 when you drive. You're not going to get it. Hell, probably not even that much. But what's more likely to happen? You sit back, take threes. Are you going to get? How often do people get fouled when all you're doing is moving the ball around the perimeter? Either maybe you're coming off a screen and then you're going to sit and pop and there's your perimeter shot. Are you going to get or dribble driving to the rim and there's all kinds of contact where everybody's corralling on top of you? Of course, you're going to draw more contact fouls when you drive. Acuff, we've talked about this all year. Acuff just does not get the benefit of the doubt when he drives, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's his style that he just absorbs contact so well. The officials are like, nah, he's good. I don't know. You'd have to ask the SEC front office on that one. I don't understand it. It was the same thing with Billy Richmond tonight. He made a play, and I was talking to you before we went live. He made a play under the rim, clearly fouled right under the rim, right in front of the camera. Definitely a lot of contact there that they would have called on the other end of the floor, but they didn't. They didn't call it.
Yep.
It was blatant, and I'm just sitting here. And then we saw a couple other times other guys getting shoved around, and Arkansas not getting the calls. Again, if they're going to do that on both ends of the floor, whatever. We know that wasn't the case. Again, when you look at the disparity in shots there. But no, we said as much, Steven. It's not a guarantee. We get another. The bigs are trash. Oh man. Yeah. I'm trying to look for. I know you got a compliment in chat. I know I saw it, and I was trying to dig it in. I thought I saw one that said Tim is right. Ty, has this ever happened?
I was the Tim don't know ball.
You got one of those? You got a Tim don't know ball?
Surely, I got one of those somewhere.
It's all right. It's usually post live comments where people are coming at me with the not as much lately. There's another one.
We need Toppin as our big. Well, he's one-legged right now, so
he's out for the year.
Yeah, he's done.
What a blow. That is damn unreal. I can't wait. Hey, Steven got himself an Acuff jersey. Awesome.
Nice.
My favorite player since Corliss, then Todd Day. Lee Mayberry's still my all-time favorite basketball hog. He was my guy when I was a kid. Of course, I was real little, but he was my guy. Loved me some Lee Mayberry.
You know what would be interesting? You know what happened with Todd Day and Lee Mayberry? They went in the same draft. They both got drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, they did. That's right, in the first round.
Wouldn't it be interesting to see Acuff and Malik get drafted by the same team? I
saw Acuff was projected to Memphis.
Okay.
And I don't know. Leak is, Brim and I may have to have a bet here. I'm with you in that I don't think he gets drafted in the first round.
No, he's not getting drafted in the first round.
He tonight he was terrific. I mean, I'll give everybody that, but he did this while getting into foul trouble and eventually fouling out. I mean, he had 24 points, 8 of 13, 6 of 8 outside on the road. Incredible. His draft stock might rise, but I don't know that he gets taken in the first round or not. I was looking at mock draft boards the other night. ESPN had him outside and I know ESPN's not the most accurate. That's just the first place I go to. And I looked at a bunch of them. There were some, this was 5 days ago. There were a couple that had him in the first round. In fact, one had him going to, I think, 20th. I don't remember to who. So right now it's kind of up in the air, but I'm with you. I don't think he gets drafted in the first round if he decides to go. And obviously if he doesn't hire an agent, well, then he can do what Knox did and come right back. I want him back, man. Oh my God, if you could get him back with those incoming freshmen. Oh my God.
The question though is there a space for him?
Oh yeah. Well,
because you're bringing in an actual shooting guard already and a small forward in Andrews.
Yeah.
So is there a space for him with other people who want to be one and done?
I think they'd make room for Lee. I don't know how you push him out or move him to another spot that he might not be comfortable with. I think he'd be fine. I mean, I don't know. It's a good question, but I think they'd figure it out. I really do. Thomas was going to come back, but then he turned into Jamal Crawford tonight. Now he's gone. He did play out of his freaking mind tonight. He did. And again, if he keeps playing like this, man, he may be gone. He might be gone. I mean, that is fair. If I'm Leak, I'm testing the waters as a pro. I think I agree with you. Someone might. I mean, we got to remember, man, his ceiling, I still don't even think he's scratched it. I don't think he's gotten there yet to what he's really capable of, even as a freshman, Truth of the matter. What's up, DJ Hogg? Hope you're doing well, man. Truth of the matter. There's not many true bigs, but we've missed since Gafford was an in-state guy. Everybody wants the 6'10", 7'2" reach, or 7'3" reach, aggressive, big papa under the rim. Everybody wants that. Everyone wants that guy who can move up and down the floor. There's also a question of, does he fit what Cal wants to do too, right? But you're not wrong. The bigs are in high demand, and there's not a lot of them in the portal. And there's not a lot of them that come out of high school that can play at a really high level. Compared to the rest of the field, obviously you have a bunch of guys every year that come in as freshmen and have an impact. Knox is gone and not to the NBA, says transplanted Texan. Kind of makes you wonder.
That up last week.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder.
Knox and Wagner both.
Did I put this up? Did I put the I don't know if I did or not. I think I did. I appreciate you, Reefer Conway. Got a lot of Conway audience in Discord, in the live chats. I don't know what it is about Conway. We got a billboard down there. Is that what's going on? We have
Travis to Conway. Now the Travis and Conway must be picking up your Conway audience.
It must be. Yeah. Does Billy come back, Ty? Well, yeah. I mean, right now, yeah, Billy, unless he transferred, right? Unless someone wants to make him an offer to come be the guy and give him that kind of money, I would lean on Richmond coming back, but he has played. He's also another one who's really coming out of his shell lately on the offensive end. He's always been electric as a defender. He's always been fantastic as a defender. He's electricity in human skin. I mean, he's just, and now he's starting to figure it out on offense, and that could be a real big problem for the rest of the SEC moving forward. This is a good. Okay, here's Rocky, who's not a Tennessee fan. 7-man rotation is a Cal staple. Foul trouble will always hurt this team because of the short man rotations.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's usually about an 7-8-man rotation. You're not wrong, but he's always had the option to go, to somebody else who at that point in the year wasn't really someone he'd planned on moving into the rotation.
That's how Sealy got his playing time.
It's exactly how Sealy got his playing time. And I think had he been healthy, I mean, we know he would have played tonight. There's no doubt. It's Judd's
happy birthday, Judster.
It's Judd's. It's his birthday. I'm suing the SEC officials for emotional damage and ruining my damn birthday. Joe Cool says, I agree. Screw the small rotation. It hurts us all year as well. you made a Sweet 16 run with this short rotation. I mean, and it's worked before, but it'd be nice if they had a ninth guy that was, cemented into that rotation. And I don't know. But yeah, obviously people are not real thrilled with it did. It's easy to look at what happened tonight and go, man, imagine if they had, one more piece available. But again, I mean, you're talking about Knox. You had two guys out on an already short roster. This is just like when Nelly Davis last year. You remember he hurt his hand, right?
Yeah,
it was a hand injury. And then he had some other guys. Of course, Boogie Flan got hurt. Some other guys were banged up. Jonas Adu.
Flan getting hurt was the best thing that happened to our team. What are you talking about?
No. I know that. But I'm just saying, like, he had these injuries with that short rotation is the point that I'm making. And they overcame it, and they found DJ Wagner, and they were able to overcome it. Jonas Adu was healthy, Brazil was healthy, and they started playing great ball. It doesn't feel like they have that this year, where you've got someone just waiting to explode. Maybe it's Billy Richmond's offensive play. Maybe it's Sealy getting more quality minutes. Maybe he's going to jump to 8 or 9 quality minutes a game. Maybe that could be the difference. It's crazy when you talk about how close Arkansas is to greatness. Arkansas is very close to greatness this year, like really close. It's almost like maybe Sealy or someone getting better, just 8 or 9 better minutes on the floor, especially from the defensive end, coming from one of your forwards or one of your 4 or 5 pieces on the floor. It's almost like that could be the thing that turns this whole thing around on defense, and all of a sudden, this is really the most complete team because they can do it on both ends of the floor. They're that close. They are that close. Coach Cal called that timeout. Oh my God. Is he going to bring up Coach Cal called that timeout. Then Ewan can't hit shots. Acuff is the only player we got besides Thomas and Billy. Other than that, this team is it's Country Boy. Oh, it's Country Boy, who was saying Arkansas was trash last year and would be one and done. And then what happened, Country Boy? So no, this team is not trash. You are absolutely.
I will say
your head is
I
up
was
somewhere.
mad as Malik Thomas when Cal called that timeout.
Oh my God!
As he hit the 3.
Did you see his face?
He was so mad. I was too. I was screaming at the TV.
That was hard to watch.
Mm-hmm. Cal was kicking himself too. He was.
It was brutal. Yeah, and he splashed it. Oh my God, that was tough. Yeah. That was really tough. Ty, one thing we have to be aware of is how special Acuff is. We will not replace him anytime soon. Oh, no. I mean, we've been talking about that for weeks, Steven. I mean, I don't know. Like, I know they got a big time. I mean, they got a couple of big time guys in this class, but they got one just recently. I'm not saying he's Acuff, but, he's going to be the closest thing. Nobody's going to fill those shoes. You're right. Nobody's going to fill those shoes. But who they just picked up, oh, man. That Arkansas roster, just the freshmen already, just outstanding talent. Woo Pig says that was a smart timeout. He's talking about that timeout right before. I can't remember what exactly transpired after that. I think didn't Acuff get to the free throw line after that, and that's when he went 1 for 1 or 1 for 2. Was that off that following possession or that possession rather?
Timeout though.
I don't remember. Oh man, I mean, it feels like they played 2 basketball games tonight.
I'm not saying, and hear me, I'm not saying that what Cal did was wrong, but that doesn't mean he still isn't kicking himself when Malik hits the 3.
Exactly.
Yeah. Of course, it was a good timeout, but he's also kicking himself for calling it because he's like, shit, he just hit the 3 and I lost the timeout.
Yeah, and Malik was not.
Oh, he was mad.
He was not happy. Hey, again, guys, I appreciate everyone for being here tonight. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Check out Tuss Talk with Ty Patreon. It really helps the channel out a lot. But I do appreciate everyone who is a Patreon supporter. But if you're not one, or if you're a free member, consider signing up for the paid membership. It keeps this whole thing afloat, man. So I'd really appreciate it. We don't have the link right now, but yeah, really quick, you want to give me your prediction for the next game before we head out?
Really quick. My prediction for the next game.
Because I'm trying to get this
versus Missouri at Fayetteville. 3:00 on Saturday. ESPN gives us an 80% chance of winning.
Yeah, it's high.
Yeah. What's the we don't have a spread yet.
No.
We're gonna win by 15 in Fayetteville.
Oh,
Might be closer in Missouri when we play them in Missouri, but we're gonna win by 15 in Fayetteville.
and again, you think they sweep both.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Even though Missouri's dog walking Vanderbilt right now.
are they really?
They were early 15 points earlier.
Oh, Vandy. Again, SEC basketball's been drunk this year. It is impossible.
18 points. Missouri's beating Vanderbilt.
Wow, they are. It's at Missouri, yeah. And Texas walked in there and took care of business against Missouri. Yeah, they're beating them up pretty good here, 62-44. Yeah.
I think it'll be closer at Missouri, but in Fayetteville, we beat them by 15.
Okay. By the way, Auburn, who I called mid, I'm gonna keep because I caught so much shit for that, is currently on the road tied with Mississippi State, 69-69, 7-10 left to go in the second half. They are the most. It was crazy to me that Arkansas got blown out like that, especially when you watch them play the way they have lately. I get it. Basketball's ebb and flow. Sometimes you just get hot and whatever, but you had no business getting your shit kicked into Auburn on the road. I don't care anywhere. And I thought Arkansas would blow them out in Fayetteville, and they really didn't, but they won the game. That's all that matters. But Auburn
they've got Keyshawn Hall tonight.
They do have Keyshawn Hall. By the way,
put up 26 points.
Yeah, Keyshawn Hall's
tied with Mississippi State.
Yeah, they're still tied with Mississippi State, 69 up. He was only out. By the way, they're on that 5-game losing streak or whatever it was. He was only out for the Arkansas game. So this was not Keyshawn Hall was out for a bunch of games. No. Auburn's just mid AF.
Yeah,
I stand by that. Of all the things I might get wrong, I at least got that one right. Ty, good show. I don't catch many of these this time of year, but enjoyed it. Hey, I appreciate you, Hog Blitz, for coming around. Again, sign up for Patreon. If you're already a member, maybe consider jumping up a tier. I don't know. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, Travis Ford and the boys. Make sure you give them a call if you've got some garage door issues down there in Central Arkansas, especially in Conway, by God. That's his home base now. He left us up here in NWA. So I guess he's just too good for us. But
I guess.
Appreciate you guys. I now finally get to settle in these next 2 days and just get ready for Saturday. So I feel like I'm heading into some much deserved time off. This has been a wild week. So Tim, I appreciate you for taking time out of this evening to come here and talk about this game. Appreciate all you guys that are in live chat or here live. We'll be back on Saturday. I'll be back at least on Saturday for the post game after Arkansas beats the absolute shit out of Missouri. Yeah, I'm calling it. I'm with Tim. I think Arkansas wins this thing pretty easily. So that's it. We will see you guys on Saturday. Be good and enjoy the rest of your week.